Morning, guys. It's Corrupted
And your boy Drago.
with Ramen for the Soul.
Well, we got one for you today.
Well, I guess we got one for not every Sunday.
Hey, yeah, every Sunday. But a special one for you today.
Is it really that special?
Nah, I just enjoy like the parallels and stuff that I've come to know in this stretch.
I gotcha. Well, today we're on episode 62 through 85 because what's it called was we were gonna do 60, but the 60 through 85, but the 61 and 62 are still that filler arc.
Yeah, that dragon about
the
the dragon
Island thing, which is weak sauce. Let's be real. That arc was pretty lame.
About that. We don't need to talk about that at all.
So it picks up with the canon stuff. With them going up Reverse Mountain and entering the Grand Line. But it's weird because isn't that not actually technically the Grand Line? It's
not
the
yet.
Red Line.
Not yet. They got to the.
It's just like we're at the Grand Line.
Yeah, they got to the.
It's called the Red Line.
Yeah, they first. That's how they get into the Grand Lines through the Reverse Mountain. That's pretty much a part of the Red Line.
And then, so Reverse Mountain is exactly what it sounds like. It's a mountain with a waterfall in reverse.
Yep.
So I guess you could say they're falling in reverse.
Whoa!
And then you just hear good girls, bad guys playing in the background.
But nah, they literally go up a waterfall that literally spits out the other side of a mountain.
But also, really cool,
really cool analogy
thing is that it goes above the clouds where the sun is. So it's the straw hat. So the straw hat motif, like their icon, is up with the sun, like not at the same level, but it's coming out like it rises up to the sky, like they're rising up to the occasion almost. Yeah,
and it was crazy because the lighting and stuff does change and stuff. Like they really emphasize just darkness when it was first going up. You see, like in the background, nothing but dark clouds, heavy rain. And as soon as they come out, they jump how they usually straw hat motif just into the sun and come down. Now it's not even raining or nothing no more. It's just straight fog. But the clouds are clear and all the clouds that were in the sky kind of like in their path now because that's what blocks Laboon when they're coming down.
Yep. And as they go down the thing, they almost run into a whale. And it's not a normal whale. It's a big-ass whale.
Like, big boy.
Like, I can't remember what kind of whale he is, but they have a name for it.
They do have a name.
It's a special type of whale.
Yeah, I can't think of the
all that
name
matters
either.
is his name's Laboon, and he's very sad because he hasn't seen his friends soon.
Like 50 years.
Yeah. But there's going to be a callback to that in, 80 episodes. I think it's 80 episodes, Thriller Bark is.
No, Thriller Bark's in 300.
Or not Thriller, where they, Brooke.
300.
That's 300 episodes from now?
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking it was
It feels like it should be
180.
sooner, but no, it's 2 or 300.
Damn.
Because, they got a lot.
Alabasta is I think 80 episodes or some shit when I was looking at it.
Yeah, 80. No, it's in the 90s.
Well, I think 1 or 2 episodes is filler.
But actual Alabasta doesn't start until 92.
Well, I get technically we're in the Alabasta arc.
We're in the saga.
The saga.
The Alabasta saga.
We're just not in the place yet.
Yeah.
So, they almost run into the whale. To stop themselves, they shoot a cannon, but they still run into the whale, and it breaks the icon of the Going Merry, like the little goat head.
Yeah.
And Luffy gets mad at the whale.
Because that was his special seat.
That's his favorite seat. And he gets mad at the whale. So he decides to fight the whale, because you don't mess with Luffy's seat.
No.
His seat at the front of the ship.
Yeah, let's get 8.
Well, no, he doesn't get eaten, remember?
But the other Straw Hats do.
Yeah, the other ones, the ship gets eaten, and he climbs on top of it.
He goes
and he
through
notices
some little
a trap
hatch.
door. Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, bro. Like, I was just talking the other day about how crazy these earlier arcs were. And just how now, in the later chapters, all of it makes sense.
And then the other Straw Hats meet this crazy old dude named Crocus.
Yeah. Old man Crocus.
They meet this weirdo named Mr. Nine and this other weirdo named Miss Wednesday, who are trying to kill LeBloon to feed their town, supposedly. And then LeBloon's still freaking out.
Yeah, that's when it gets revealed that he started hitting his head against the red line again.
Yeah, because he's trying to destroy the red line to get back to his friends that may or may not have abandoned him.
The way Crocus described the red line was just like, it explains so much. Like, because he described the red line as a divider of the sea, of all the seas. Said it's a divider of all the seas, and with LeBoon and his friends being on the other side of it, all LeBoon wants to do is break it down just to get back to his friends, because that's all he thinks is stopping him. That's all he thinks is stopping him. But, you know, of course Luffy sees this, and I felt like Luffy resonated with that like so much. Like, you just see him just upset. And it was like at that point, because we also found out that Crocus was the doctor, and he was trying to heal LeBoon from the inside because he couldn't do it out.
Because he's too big.
Yeah, he's too big. He couldn't handle him from the outside.
That's what she said.
Got it. But, like, Crocus just, like, literally devoting his life to do nothing but save LeBoon because he's a doctor. And, like, just Luffy seeing this is almost like I fully believe that Luffy's going to destroy the red line at the end of all this. Like, now.
And then to make LeBoon stop to fight him, he stabs him with his mast.
Still crazy.
Not a euphemism. Like, he actually takes the mast from the ship and stabs one of the spots where LeBoon's head's cut.
Yep.
Because LeBoon's covered in scars.
Yep.
And then he uses it to start sparring with LeBoon, like start a sparring match with LeBoon.
Really fighting this freaking like gigantic whale that's the size of 3 Mount Everests.
But we don't know who's. Well, I wouldn't say 3 Mount Everests. He's probably not
exaggeration.
Even. Yeah, he big as fuck. This
dude's huge.
Yeah,
like,
he
huge
a big boy. That boy thick. But the entire sparring match is just a pretense for Luffy to call it a draw. But it's real. It's like one of the few times that we see Luffy's clever.
Yeah.
Like his cleverness. He's it's to say it's a draw, and he's just like, I bet you used to spar with the old pirate crew you were friends with all the time, and that's how you got so strong. So I'm gonna call this a draw. So when I'm done with the Grand Line, we're gonna come back and we're gonna finish our sparring match, which LeBoon's 100% is losing now.
Facts.
But like that's what LeBloon's wanted this whole time, was just like someone to make true on a promise. And we know Luffy's character; he's not gonna break the promise
at all. And just the additive of how clever he is, literally tells him that I'm gonna draw my insignia on your head where you've been literally been ramming your head against this wall, but it ain't done and it ain't finished, so you gotta let it dry, which means you can't hit your head no more.
Well, it's not just that it's not dry. It's he says that I had to do it quickly, which implies like it's gonna last for a long time.
Yeah, it's not
just
finished.
Since it wasn't perfect, he like couldn't put any protectorant on it. So if LeBloon smashes his head, it's just gonna ruin it. So he can't ruin a mark of friendship, or that's a bad sign of friends. So he cleverly got LeBloon to stop hitting his head.
Precisely.
Which is a rare mental Luffy W.
Don't say the word, man. Uber Menschy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it probably works there. But yeah.
Also, Crocus. Let's not like glaze over that, because
well, we can't say who he really is. We gotta keep that.
I know, not who he really is, but we can say he was exhibiting some archetypes of the sage, because everything that Crocus gave them was like he was telling them how to fare the Grand Line, like telling them about the log posts, making sure Nami, their navigator, knew how the weather works because
giving them a log post.
Yeah, that they end up breaking. Yeah.
No. They don't break.
They do break. They break every one that they've got at that point. The first one that they got was the one that they got from Mr. Nine when they first ran from the boat. Yeah.
No, but remember, they break that one,
and they break the next one too. The one that who actually gave them?
No. They had they were just like, what's this weird thing?
They do have one that they had to give them after the fact.
What's it called? So they get one from Crocus. And then they have the one that Crocus gives them until they get to Little Garden.
No.
That one breaks. And then
no. They had a blue one that they picked up first that got broke when Sanji kicked Luffy and he shot right over it and Nami beat Sanji's ass for it.
Yeah,
remember, another one.
That's the one that they took from Mr. Nine and Wednesday.
Yeah, they broke.
Left on the ship. Yeah.
Then they got another one. Then Robin missed all Sunday. Gives them another one that's supposed to took them straight to Alabasta later, but Luffy breaks it because he says he doesn't want any shortcuts. He wants to go how they're supposed to go, and that's when Nami got mad again, and she was like, Luffy told her that you don't tell me where the ship goes. You don't decide where the ship goes. I do. Yeah. But Crocus, him basically telling them what a log post was before he got.
No, but I'm pretty sure they're the log post that they have in Little Garden is the one Crocus gave them.
But that wasn't the one that they had at the scene that I'm talking about. When they first find out what a log post was, the one that they picked up from Mr. Nine was the first one they got.
Yeah.
And then that's when Crocus told him what it was. And Luffy just had it.
Because I remember Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday are just like, please take us with you. And then they're just like, yeah, we broke y'all's log post.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, what? And then they get Crocus's log post and they're just holding it over their head to see if they're liars or not.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, how dare you play with our hearts like that?
But Crocus and being I see some archetypes of the sage in him, just how he shows them some.
He's not
the definitive one. He's not the definitive, but I'm looking
we'll get to him in 500 episodes.
Yeah, the real sage. Yeah. But nah, I just like that idea how Crocus really set them up to get on the Grand Line, because as soon as they got out there, you see the freaking weather went nuts. Started pretty much trying to kill him at that point. And the log post and how important it was, you kind of see that in between them leaving to go to Whiskey Peak, and after Whiskey Peak, they kind of show you how important it is.
But we also learned that they call it Raft Hell here.
Yeah.
But that's what's at the end of the Grand Line.
Yeah.
It's supposedly where the One Piece is. We know that's not the real name of it, but
yeah,
we know for later on that is different name, but it's what I guess that's what everyone thought Roger was saying instead of his real name.
Yeah.
And then Luffy lets Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday ride with him to
Whiskey Peak.
To Whiskey Peak.
I love Whiskey Peak after doing this analogy again. Whiskey Peak just has so much.
And then before they leave, Crocus says, choose your route carefully. Once you head out from here, you'll be committed to that course. And Luffy says, that's okay. If we don't like it, we'll find a different route next time. And it's it reminds Crocus of somebody.
Yeah.
I wonder who. The same thing that Luffy reminds everybody of, probably.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. And then after they leave, while he's watching them go away, Crocus says, I wonder. Luffy and his exuberant crew could be the very pirates we've been waiting for. The young captain sure has a way about him. It's uncanny, really. Wouldn't you agree, Roger? Implying, we know he's a ship doctor, and he apparently knows Roger, and I think we could put two and two together. It gets confirmed later, but what you're thinking it is what it is. So he knew the previous. So I've been thinking about the conceptualization. Roger would have been what I think it is Roger became the lion, but he could never become the child in the Ubermensch journey.
That would make a lot of sense.
But because later on we find out that he has to wait, it's not his time yet. So it could be he just can't make himself like the child. So he's waiting for somebody that can make themselves like the child, and that would be Luffy. Because even one of his crew members, well, there's been multiple ex-crew members so far, like Shanks, that see something great in Luffy. Like, they see, like, the remnants of Roger's will in Luffy. So I think that Roger just couldn't make the transition to the child, and part of him knew that he couldn't finish it, but he could lead the way for the one that would finish it. So it'd be like, instead of Roger being the Ubermensch, what if he's like Zarathustra?
Yeah, the speaker, basically.
The one that shows how to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, or he could, because I guess you could, like, well, he wouldn't really be Zarathustra. That's Riley's job.
No, you said it. No, that's where it gets hard.
No, because Zarathustra's the archetype of the sage, and that's going to be Rayleigh's job.
But in Rayleigh's case, you would have to look if he was supposed to be Zarathustra. No, well, no, 100. No, he, because then he would just be echoing, because Rayleigh is just echoing what Roger wanted.
True.
Like, because if Zarathustra is telling you the tale of the Ubermensch versus like.
But also, Zarathustra's not the one. Like, Zarathustra understands he can't bring it forward. He can just lead the way for it to come forward.
But that definitely would have been something Roger would have figured out. Like, Rayleigh wouldn't have figured that out. That would have been something Roger would have told Rayleigh.
Well, or it could be that maybe Roger thought he could be it, and then he got to a point where he realized he couldn't, which would be the implication of Zarathustra coming down from his mountain. So yeah, Roger would be Zarathustra in the thing. Yeah, would be closer to Zarathustra.
Because they really, Roger's pirates are the ones that found out everything. Not everything enough to affect that they could do something about it, but found out everything to know what needed to be done. And then, I agree with that. Like, literally found out that he was the lion, but he couldn't make the transition to the child. Not because he couldn't do it himself, but it wasn't him that was supposed to do it. So him finding out and setting it up.
He couldn't do it himself, but I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Because, like,
he wasn't supposed to do it himself. Or it's not his job to do.
He doesn't have the ability to come up with the new system. He just has the ability to get someone there that can.
Because whatever it is, it's grand. Like, it's grand. Because the whole people now who are going, putting their lives on the line to find the One Piece, and we know later.
Well, also, later. It's not like the show sets it up as it's where he left all his treasure.
Yeah.
But that's not actually what it is. It's just that's the pretense to go after it. Like,
the best thing. But like, still.
He's like saying, like, I left all my treasure I've ever got there, but that's not why it's important. But everyone thinks it's important because... But like I said, I think what the One Piece is proof that so I got it. So doing more reading, like reading part of Beyond Good and Evil and stuff like that, of Nietzsche's, and Twilight of the Idols this week, I think it goes even deeper than my original thought of what the One Piece could be. So I don't think it's just what I originally thought. So my original thought was it's proof that the people that created the world government killed their transcendent ideal. Like, it's the proof that they killed their transcendent ideal. Like, the thing that they care about the most, or like their more moral system, and the killing that created or betraying that, or however you want to say it, doing that created the devil fruits. So like the corpse of the transcendent ideal, or the god, or whatever it is of the time in the Void Century. I think that it's not just the proof. I think it's also the murder weapon. Like, not just like, and when I say murder weapon, I don't mean like an actual murder weapon. I think it's not just proof that it happened. Like, not just like evidence. Originally I thought it was just going to be like one of those, what's it called? The things Nico can read.
A poneglyph.
A poneglyph. At first, I thought it was just gonna be a poneglyph. That's like the old civilization that says like this is what it is. Like this is what happened here. Because they all say like this is what happened at like around the Void Century. You know. What I think it is I think it's actually. I think it's gonna actually be the thing that they did to in the Void, or like not in the Void, but to the thing they did to kill the previous like way of life. Because it might not necessarily be the moral system, but I think the people that become the Celestial Dragon's ancestors, I think they were tricked into killing or destroying the thing that made their lives meaningful. And so now the Celestial Dragons are just chasing any high they can while avoiding all the risk and stuff that feels bad. Like makes them feel inferior. And I think the result of that killing of that moral system birthed the devil fruit. It's like they wanted the power to take over stuff, so it created the devil fruits to give them the power, but the side effect of the devil fruit is that the sea hates them. You know? Like the sea wishes death upon them. And so that's to get the power to kill quote unquote God, they had to sacrifice part of their soul. And when they sacrificed part of their soul, they got the devil fruit, like the thing that made devil fruits. And then the devil fruits give them the power to combat those things. Their quote unquote God. And then once they killed their quote unquote God, the corpse of the God is what they'll find now. I know I said murder weapon earlier, but it's like the effects of where they killed their God. Like, not necessarily the murder weapon. It might not necessarily be a corpse. But originally I thought it was just going to be a poneglyph that said, this is what happened. Now I think it's actually going to be the actual, like, where they killed it.
So, it would change your... Do you know what Roger and them saw when they got there to the Laugh Tale?
I know bits and pieces.
So, the one bits and piece that's very important, which I ain't saying
also,
like
I
it's
should note that I'm not
like,
caught up. So if any of this is right, it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah. But like one thing that was done that they said Roger and them laughed like profusely when they got to Laugh Tale and saw what was there. That's like one thing that's crazy. So in the like it might be something that they found so ironic or so like what the fuckish that it just like painted the picture of what Roger needed to do like so vividly that made him just want to quit it. So if your theory is right, they must have saw something that was like a no-brainer.
Well, like
to like what they like, did.
If you saw because it might not be a battle or something like that's just talking in metaphor. If you saw this place where everything that your moral framework relied on, right? Like let's say you, because we grew up in a relatively Christian society, right? Like Southern America is pretty religious. Like let's say we saw irrefutable proof that everything in the Bible was absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
Our first reaction would be to laugh our ass off, right?
Not everybody though.
Not everybody, but like
to some people that would literally cripple their entire life.
Yeah, it would cripple. But Roger could see past it though. So the people that's their entire identity, it would crush them. But the people that see past it, see past the idealized version of it. If people that were jaded by the system, or something, not necessarily jaded, but if people that were skeptical of Christianity or whatever religion it is, saw that the foundation of the religion was false, or not necessarily the religion, but the moral system set in place by the religion was false, it would, your first reaction would be to laugh, right?
I ain't gonna say all that.
Or let's not say that you're like,
because
let's say
it'd have to be other things in place, because that's what makes me so, like, when I think about Roger and them, it's like y'all have to have known something else to make y'all laugh, like, because everything on the surface is I agree it has to be something that just puts the world government in such a bad position with the world that it just makes it so obvious that y'all messed up. But like, if it really was that, like, Roger couldn't have just, like, no, quitting it, like, he had to have someone that was stronger, and knowing that whatever it was, that it was an enemy that he couldn't beat, which I don't see that in Roger's character with what we know about Roger, because Roger looked for it.
But like, also, like, if it wasn't something that, yeah, like, he would have, if he just laughed and then left, like, couldn't control himself laughing, it wouldn't have been a fight. Or right. Or the fight would have been someone that is so unable to beat him that all he could do was laugh at them and walk away. Like the idea of the fight so ridiculous that he, like, all he can do is laugh and walk away. That's why I said, like, because it's hard to imagine the thing that I'm saying, but let's, like, the thing I'm saying about, like, if the moral system with, like, the church and stuff like that, like, let's say if, like, me and you, since we grew up in a very Christian place, we went to Rome, right? And we went under one of the churches and we found a bunch of stuff that said, like, the moral system that we believe in is completely, like, a complete bastardization of what we've been told our whole lives. And we were already kind of skeptical of it, but we weren't fully like, nah, this ain't it, chief, sort of thing, like, mindset with it. But we were skeptical enough to go look for it, like, the meaning behind the moral system, which is what Roger's doing. And he goes and finds it and sees what it actually says. And it says everything you think you know about it is not only wrong, but you were lied to about it. My first reaction would probably be to laugh.
It'd like, probably last for about 5 seconds, though.
But you get what, like...
But, like, I get what you're saying, but as far as the laughter in which we're like, talking about, that didn't happen. Like, they laughed profusely as in what they saw was wrong, they thought was wrong, and whatever it was so wrong that they just can't stop laughing at. It's that funny. But that would mean, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if they found out that devil, like, the whole time they've been thinking devil fruit stopped people from swimming, and all it did was really just stop them from being able to float in water. That would be the craziest shit ever. Like, that's some crazy shit. Like, this whole time we thought this was this, and we really could have did it this. Like, the only thing I can see.
That's what I'm saying. That's, like, the thing I'm saying is, so,
like, they could have got to Laugh Tale in a different way. Like, if we could take that and put it into worldly standpoints of One Piece, like, what they could have saw would be like, okay, yeah, like, really, y'all, like, it would be a thing to make it look like, why is these people, like, doing this? Like, y'all really did all this for this? Or, like, we really stopped doing this for this? It would make the expectation of what it is be, like, so minuscule to what the thought originally was versus... Because, like, it would have to be something, like, for them to sit there and laugh as profusely as they
that's
did.
What, like,
laugh in tears. Like, because when you put different responses on top of, like, it's already laughing, but when you laugh and you're crying laughing, that's, like, harder laughter than just regular laughter. So it would have to be something real, like, it's going to mess us up. At this point, whatever it is in Laugh Tale, it's gonna mess us up. No,
that's what I'm getting at. Like, what I'm trying, like, if we found out that the moral framework we've based our entire lives on is built on the foundation of a lie, right? Like, everything we think we understand, like, why, like, what makes people good, what makes people bad, the fundamental understandings of our reality as a culture, right? Like, how Western culture is as a whole. If we found out all of that is predicated on a lie, and that everything is so much grayer than we ever thought possible, and there's no such thing as good, there's no such thing as evil, there's just such thing as what people say it is, I would laugh my absolute ass off if I found out that there's no such thing as objective morality, and that's what it, like, or not just objective morality, if it's proof that the idea of objective morality was built upon a lie that I was fed my entire existence, and I had irrefutable proof that that is the case.
We think they're doing that right now in Egghead.
I would laugh my absolute ass off.
Yeah, but
because that's all you can do is laugh.
But it's looking like they're gonna come to those revelations in Egghead before they get to Laugh Tale with everything that's happening. I know you're not caught up. That's why I'm trying not to mention it. But like that's what
you get what I'm saying.
I do. It's not like it makes sense, but it would have to be something so like so profound, like so unbelievable.
No, but I think like for the average person, like that hasn't read Nietzsche and stuff like that, I think the idea of everything you think you understand about yourself and how you feel about things is a lie would completely, like, that would be so profound that it would change everything. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. Like,
no, that makes sense.
Like if it turned out that the moral framework we all think we're so good because we follow, and then Roger doesn't follow the same moral framework, he follows his own moral framework. So it could be that the proof of that happening could also be that Roger's way of life is confirmed to be the most right way because Roger was able to do it, and that could also be funny. Like, that's a laughing matter.
Make for why did Roger leave and like not do it himself then?
Because he wasn't right enough.
So that goes back to the half truth.
No. It could be the lie. Like, he understands, like the lion part. Like, he understands that the current morals aren't good, that they need to change. Like, there needs to be a change in the morals. He just can't come up with the new system, and that's why he had to leave. Because he can't become the child.
But then the question comes then, why make it to where everybody, if the question would come then is why make every random person a part of what might be, instead of you were just looking for the right person, why not just go get the right person?
What you mean the right person? Like,
because if whatever Roger got to Laugh Tale and couldn't complete on his own, whatever he got in there to do it, if he knew what was needed, why not just go ahead and set it up to where you set up who was next to have what they needed, instead of just broadly throwing everyone else out there by saying you have treasure and telling everyone to go find it.
So with that thing, because with that, with like the child and stuff, like somebody to find someone that could get to the point where they could be at the stage of the child,
but that
you yourself wouldn't know.
That also could have been, because it's also a theory running around that Shanks is doing everything that Roger like entrusted him to do before he died. So
yeah, Shanks could just be setting everything up because
Shanks could actually be Zarathustra.
That's true. It could be. Or he could be the disciple of Zarathustra, because remember he sends his disciples out, and some of them keep speaking the word of the Ubermensch. So it could be that Shanks is spreading the word, and he thinks Luffy has what it takes to get all the way through.
I want and so
he could be setting it up. So it could be that that's exactly what happened. Like, he doesn't know what the person that can make the new moral system is. He could just be like, they have to be like me to some regard, but they also have to have more potential than I did. And then he could have told like his crew that actually was like really close with him, like Shanks and Rayleigh and stuff like that. You know, like the ones that like are Crocus and stuff like that. Like the ones that were not necessarily close, but the ones that looked up to him. He could have been like, you guys, this is what it is. So if you see someone that has potential greater than mine, lead them on this path. And so Shanks come into contact with Luffy, it could be like he's exactly like Roger, but there's something else to him. Could have been what made him want Luffy to become a pirate. And then that leads to the entire thing. Like, Roger understands that the current moral system's bad and everything, but he just doesn't have the capacity to come up with a new one. But the next person, like the person that's set that he thinks will replace him, does. And if any of this is even partially right, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. But also, like, I'm just talking in metaphor. Like, it might not actually be the thing. Like, it could still just be the poneglyph. But I think the poneglyph's going to be like...
Nah, I 100% don't think it's a poneglyph now.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're using poneglyphs just to get there. And if they do using poneglyphs just to get there and it turn out, it's another poneglyph, boy. Yoda, don't do that.
But, yeah, we haven't even got to poneglyphs in the story yet. We're about, I think, 70 episodes away from the first one.
I couldn't even tell you.
Because there's one.
I don't even remember when we saw the first one. Skypiea.
No, I thought there was one in Alabasta, but we just don't know what it's called.
It might be. I don't
like I think that's the whole reason Nico's helping, right?
No, well.
Or one of the reasons.
Yes. No, because she's with Crocodile literally because of her ability, and her ability to read them is what Crocodile wants.
Because isn't there like one up under the palace or something?
The Tomb of the Kings,
like that?
yeah. First ever poneglyph we saw in One
That's
Piece
like
was
70 episodes
the historical one found in the Tomb of the Kings in the Alabasta Kingdom.
Okay, cool. So yeah. I could have sworn I remembered it the first time I watched Alabasta.
Yeah.
That was like her entire reason.
But yeah, that's why she's a demon child and stuff, and everyone wants her because they want to kill her for having the ability to read the poneglyphs. Which
says that the poneglyphs have proof that the government did something horrible.
Yeah. I mean, because most of them, the early ones, the black ones, are like letters and like letters between Joy Boy and his crew. We'll get to all that.
Yeah.
We'll get to all that. But no, that's
we start describing like the Dionysian man and shit. But that's a little while away. Because Luffy's not quite there yet.
The Dionysian.
Yeah, the Dionysian art, man, god, and everything. That's probably like when we need to start talking about it like that. That's probably going to be like Dressrosa area, where it gets more like that.
Yeah.
When it's like when Snake Man pops up and everything, because Snake Man also has.
That's Whole Cake.
Yeah.
Snake Man is Whole Cake.
Or Whole Cake, my bad.
In the 800s. Yeah, we definitely probably like once we hit Alabasta and finish Alabasta, it's probably be best to go arc by arc, but we'll get to that.
Well, it depends on how long, because some of the arcs are longer than 25 episodes and some of them are.
But it wouldn't. We'll talk about that.
Well, like I guess we could do like part 1 of this arc, part 2. I don't know. It's just we gotta like map out the length of each arc.
Well, the only long ones in One Piece, historically long ones, is Dressrosa and Wano, because he was actually trying to break records with those. Freaking Oda, that boy made Dressrosa long just to break it, then break the record, the Guinness World Record for longest anime art, then turned around and did it for Wano.
So that little tangent with Roger aside, about Roger aside,
so yeah, they leave.
They run into the crazy weather.
Yep, the crazy weather as soon as they leave on the way to Whiskey Peak.
But the funny thing is that there's like Luffy and Usopp are just goofing off because it starts snowing. But then you see once it gets real, they're just like into action.
Yep.
And I just thought it was like it's like a good character thing for Luffy because it shows like he's not always on. But when he's on, he's on.
Yeah. The same thing like when he gets to fighting and you see he pulls out all these clever things that you never thought he was capable of.
Yeah. And then Luffy is unbothered by how crazy everything keeps happening. Yep. But it's not just that he's unbothered.
He's having fun.
He seems to love it.
Yeah,
like he seems to revel in the chaos.
Like all this stuff going wrong around him, he's just looking at it like, ooh, ah. Like, not even like the fact that the weather just went from sunny as hell, clear as sky as day, to you now in a full-blown hurricane monsoon. And you just looking like, oh, my God, I can't believe it's raining. It was just sunny. And everybody around you like, bruh, it was just sunny and now it's raining. What are you doing?
But here's the other thing. With that, it's like Luffy sees the potential in it. Not just like the potential in the chaos. Like the potential to have fun. The potential to do what he needs to do. The potential for life in all the chaos.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Definitely what we've seen so far from him. I could definitely put that and see it across like his personality, like in a whole. Just how he see in the beauty of chaos, he just finds like the essence of life. I can definitely see that.
That's pretty much like no matter where he is, he can just see like the fact that something's chaotic's happening. It means that life's there, and so he loves it because he loves life, which is the Dionysian man thing we mentioned earlier. That's kind of what it's like. The Dionysian man is an idea that Nietsche had. That is like, it's a man that loves life, or that is overflowing with absolute adoration of life in everything about it. Like a frenzied primordial version of loving life. Like that's like into the chaotic part of life. That's just like entire existence is devoted to enjoying life. Yeah. And Luffy, like we're slowly seeing Luffy's like that.
And that's like crazy because when you really look at it, like loving life to a point so much that the bad stuff going around you ain't even like considered. It's not even a factor. Like he doesn't look and think that the ship might sink when, you know, water's coming into it or something. Or not looking at the ship will capsize when he get hit with this side wind. Just he's getting blown around. He's enjoying the wind in his hair. Nothing else matters. And it's just that simple. The Dionysian man literally takes those small things and it's like magnified. Yeah. Like those things are literally fun to the Dionysian man. Like they don't look at the bad factors and it literally not looking at the bad factors to the point where it changes their personality or changes the way they view or changes his own like personal atmosphere about what's going on, which is just like really crazy. Something you don't see all the time.
Yeah, with most like some people might enjoy life, but not. It looks like Luffy is absolutely infatuated with living his life, which
as chaotic as it may seem.
Yeah, as crazy as it may seem, Luffy feels like Luffy is like it's like he doesn't just like the chaos, or he loves life so much that he finds the chaos beautiful. Yeah, because it means that there's life there.
A really good example, if you really wanted to really look at it, just anytime you watching One Piece and some chaos going on, just look at the difference between Luffy's reactions and Usopp's reactions. Like Usopp's reaction literally tell you that he'd rather be on the porch instead of being wherever he is right now dealing with what's going on. And Luffy's reaction is always like, bro, bring on more.
He giggles and says
like
that's
giggles
awesome.
And like dude just out of way the weather change, he's over there looking at it like a roller coaster. As soon as the weather changed, Usopp look at it like he's finna die. Like this is just
when we get to Little Garden, it's a good example.
Oh, it's great.
Because there's like all the carnivorous plants and everything, or not carnivorous, but the giant wildlife and dinosaurs, and Usopp's losing his mind, and Luffy's just like, this is the greatest day of my life.
Yeah, but we go back and now they're going through all this weather to get to Whiskey Peak. Yeah. And what's crazy about Whiskey Peak is that they get welcomed. Like this is one of the first signs we see that they're just straight up open arms, cheers. Like they're straight welcomed to come there.
And it's not because of who they are either. It's just because they're pirates.
Just because they're pirates. They get welcome to come there. And they, get fed. Luffy eats. They feed him.
Yeah, he doesn't just eat. He eats so much that 3 cooks pass out from exhaustion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like they really turned it into a relay. Like the cooks couldn't handle it. They couldn't stand the heat. So they got out the kitchen.
Literally.
But, they get fed pretty much. You eat till you drop. Drink till you drop. Everybody, they had the little contest, the little drinking contest that Nami was in. and they all go to sleep, and that's when we find out that this island, and really an island of like people, it's an island of basically bounty hunters
that are just there to lure pirates in.
They're just there to lure pirates in, get them all drunk, make them go to sleep, and then they just take all their stuff and kill them. That's it.
Turns out Zoro didn't actually pass out in his drinking contest.
Yep.
He was just chilling because he wanted to go outside.
Yep. Typical Zoro.
Typical Zoro shit.
But I love...
And he wasn't tired because he spent the entire trip from Crocus to Whiskey Peak asleep.
The whole time.
So he wasn't sleepy like the rest of the crew.
Nope. And it was crazy because we talk all the time. Like, we've done a lot of comparisons saying how Luffy's just this embodiment of the sun, or you know, attribute him to the dawn. And I just love how in this whole thing, Zoro's literally behind the moon. Like, the moon's behind him. Like, everything about the sun is not even there. Like, they got so many moon shots of Zoro just sitting there, like, giving me Itachi vibes when he killed the Uchiha clan. But
he's not the archetype of the moon, though.
No, he's not.
Because the archetype of the moon is supposed to be very, like, feminine and, like, nurturing and stuff like that. I think it's
more just showing the opposite right here. Just where they stand as, like, captain and, like, first mate.
What's it called? We never see Luffy train because he's just naturally that strong. Like, we saw him train when he was a kid, like, in, like, what?
We only see him train
episodes?
As a kid.
Yeah. But, like, that's another thing. Luffy just, like, it's all about chaos. It's like Zoro's all about ordering that chaos.
Yeah, and, like, the thing was crazy because even in their fighting styles, they were different. Like, Luffy is very frontal, very straightforward, very like, oh, I want you to know that I'm about to beat you. Zoro, he does what needs to be done. Like, he was in this whole scene, like, in and out, like, shadows, not showing himself, analyzing the fight, not putting himself in dangerous situations where the uber-mentioned Luffy wouldn't even, like, analyze those dangerous situations, put him in a factor.
There's
like
also,
that.
Luffy has no technique to anything that he does. It's all just pure instinct. Like, he trained to be able to use his rubbery body, but everything else is just pure instinct for the most part.
Everything.
But Zoro is the opposite. He is pure technique. Like, everything that he does is pure technique.
Yep. Everything. Like, you see it just from how they handled the different situations. And, like, it was so bad that they was thinking that Zoro was the captain. And I found this to be funny because it was like, you would think somebody who's supposed to be compared to the Ubermensch, it makes sense why he wouldn't have no pushovers behind him. Like, seeing Zoro just come out and literally pretty much solo these guys.
Or, like, the fact that, like, what happens with Miss Monday. Miss Monday's this giant, like, 6'7" black lady that's, like, muscled as fuck. And you might be like, why you have to point out this black lady? Because it's One Piece. There's only been, like, 3 of them so far. So it's crazy that that Oda made one, like, the biggest musclehead we've seen in the show so far. Because he only knows how to draw women 3 ways. Nami's body type, Big Mom's body type, or Miss Monday's body type. And that's it.
Yeah, no, that's accurate as fuck. That's 100 accurate.
But she's supposed to be, like, super strong. Like, physically, like, stronger than most of her organization. Her organization is Broke Works, by the way, because Zora knew who it was because he apparently got invited to join a long time ago.
Yep. They elaborate on that in the live action.
But the live action got that far?
That was like the 2nd or 3rd episode. They didn't, they not doing the pacing the same.
Oh, okay.
But no, he got the invitation like way early, like before he met Luffy type thing.
Yeah. But we don't know how long ago, but it was when he first set out.
But up in the live action, Mr. 5 actually meets him and tries to give him the invitation, which I thought was funny.
But we're gonna talk about Mr. 5 in a minute. How he beats Miss Monday catches him, just like haha, punches him in the face with a brass knuckle, and he just laughs. He gets a cut on his forehead, laughs, and then grabs her by the face and then squeezes her face so hard that she passes out. Which I just find hilarious how he beats her, because she was talking a mad amount of shit, and he's just like, shut up.
Typical Zoro, I swear.
And then
that's like, I definitely see that as something Zoro would do.
And then Zoro beats the crap out of everyone. It turns out Miss Wednesday and number 5, Mr. 5, or not Mr. 9, is a part of Baroque Works. Who would have friggin' guessed? The mayor of the town has a saxophone gun. It's really stupid. It shoots when he plays it. What else am I missing? It turns out after he beats them all, Zoro beats everyone in Baroque's Works that's there at the time. And then this new group shows up, this man and a woman, named Mr. 5 and... Crap, I can't remember her...
It's like Miss... Crap. Miss something.
Miss... She ain't
Miss Valentine.
Miss Valentine, that's
Miss Valentine.
Because it's so weird that she's not a day of the week, and it bothers me.
Yeah. I ain't understand.
Or like week related. But they show up and they're just like, someone knows the boss's identity of Baroque Works. That's not allowed. We're told by the boss to come and kill him. And it turns out that Miss Wednesday isn't actually a true member of Baroque Works. She joined Baroque Works just to figure out who the leader was.
Yep.
Because she's secretly a princess of Alabasta. And it's going through a revolt because Mr. Zero, the leader of Baroque Works, is trying to take over Alabasta to make a new country.
Yep. That's when we find out all that. Because that's when Zoro and them like really just kind of dissect Vivi's. Well, I don't think they say it as Vivi then. But Miss Wednesday's just basically like, she's trying her hardest to stop Crocodile, which we find out is Crocodile literally like the next scene later. Like, find out that
scene or two later, yeah.
Literally just stopping him from trying to overtake it. And Zoro's actually the first one that talks about her guts and how, you've got some guts to try to go after the guy that's stopping your trying to take over your country. And that was before like everything.
And it turns out the mayor with the saxophone is actually one of her protectors.
Yep.
He's like the head of security, like one of the military leaders in Alabasta, and he's watching over her, over Princess Vivi. And so Igaram asks Zoro and Nami if they can protect her and get her to Alabasta.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoro's just like, get bent, dude. No. And Nami's just like, wait, she's a princess?
Yep. Then thinks she could charge her.
So, yeah, I'll do it for 1 billion berries. And Zoro's just like, no, we're not doing that for that. And then she's just like, you still owe me 300,000 from the loan. And he's just like, son of a bitch.
Well, Nami don't play when it comes to that cheese.
And then we learn what Baroque's work is doing. And according to Igaram, it's the ultimate objective of the Baroque's works is the creation of an ideal kingdom, which is horseshit. That's not really. That's just what he tells everyone, and he like Mr. Zero tells everyone, and he tells everyone that if they work for him, they get higher standings in the kingdom when it's finally achieved.
Quote unquote. You know that's a lie.
I'm just saying that sounds like a cult.
Now. That sounds like a literal like setup. Like,
that sounds like a cult.
But right after that, I think that's when we get the first time we see first time we see a fight amongst the Straw Hat members.
A real fight.
Fight. That boy Luffy. Because by this point in time, the people awake understand that this was all a ruse. Like, they did this just to steal from us. And this is where we get Luffy's resolve as to just how far he's willing to defend his idea of justice. Like, his own crew member, Zoro. Like, when Luffy woke up and saw all these people cut down, he asked them who did it. Your dude with the 3 swords did it. And he was willing to go so far as to kill his own crew member for dishonoring these people that had treated him so well.
Yeah, I love the entire reason he did it is because they didn't serve any food.
Yeah, like the only reason he was able to back down from it said, Zoro, all you had to do was tell me they didn't serve nothing you liked. Oh, you're funny. Nah, he really was finna off him because he thought he killed those people for nothing. Like, really went to those points saying he was finna kill you. Called him ungrateful. All of that. Like, this was your dude who you just was ready to, like, lose your life over. Literally, like, not even probably in real time couldn't have been more than, like a week. Like, couldn't have been. Like, from where they were at in, damn, what's the name?
No, it had to be, because Luffy's gotten taller.
Yeah, okay. It would have to.
Because he meets Zoro in episode 2. So it had to be
they've been through a lot. Like
it had to at least be a month or two.
Still though,
at the smallest.
That's not a, like, bro. They was just homies. Like that. It for Luffy to just go crazy, not even try to get Zoro's side. It's just, that's real devotion to, like, your morals, like real devotion.
But he's also half asleep when it happens too, so he probably thinks that, like, there's probably something else in his mind. But it just shows that, like, if you show Luffy kindness, he doesn't take lightly to those that
at all,
like, dishonor that kindness
at all. Just so far, he take it so far to go against his own crewmate.
Also, what's crazy is in the fight, Miss Valentine and Mr. Five try to intervene, and they're supposed to be super strong because they're like the 9th and 10th strongest person in Baroque's work. And Luffy one-shots Mr. Five after Mr. Five blows his metaphorical load and literal load, because his power is he can blow anything up, any part of his body up. He's basically Proto-Bakugo.
Yeah.
And Luffy just one-shots him after getting blown up like a bajillion times. And then, what's it called? Miss Valentine tries to get Zoro, but Zoro just, like, missed me with that, and she ends up getting stuck in something.
You killed me with that Bakugo line too, by the way. My Hero Season 7 is live.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's live. That first episode was pretty nice.
And then, what's it called? They have the fight. It looks like Luffy's gonna win, just like the nature of it. Luffy is stronger. We know that. We know Luffy's the stronger of the two. Like, we've seen, but the it's important to note that they just straight up one shot Mr. Five.
Yeah,
like, it's very important to note because it comes up later that they have to write that Oda had to write an entire thing to say why to explain this entire plot line later. But just know he's strong enough to one shot, like, immediately incapacitate number 5. Oh yeah, Nami. Is the one that breaks up the fight by walking up behind both of them and punching them in the head while they're having, like, I want to say beam struggle, just because I watched too much Dragon Ball in my day. But they're basically, like, Zoro's holding his sword and Luffy's, like, pressing against the sword.
Yep.
And Nami knocks him, not out, but just, like, hard, smacks, like, the shit out of him, like, in the back of the head
to make him want to not.
But also, it makes you wonder: is it that she hits hard enough, or is it just that they know it's Nami, so they let themselves feel it?
I would say it's because they know it's Nami. Because Nami
she's
does
the only
that.
One that
like,
does that.
Yeah, Nami's the only person that gets those kind of reactions. Like, they don't even draw, later. When
he literally just got blown up. Like, the entire house he's in with Mr. Five gets blown to smithereens. He has no scratches on him. He's just a little dirty, and he one-shots him. But Nami smacking him in the back of the head. And Nami doesn't hit hard.
I wouldn't even be opposed to them coming out later and just saying Nami's that bitch, like Nami's that one that can just knock people out. I wouldn't be opposed.
Or it could be that they piss her off so much that she accidentally activates Haki.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would work. Like, she accidentally uses Haki whenever she's disciplining the crew.
I would absolutely love that.
Because it doesn't work on Usopp. If you remember, it just works on the 3 that are unnaturally strong.
So Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy.
And we know, like, Luffy's strong because of his bloodline.
Yeah.
Sanji's strong because of his bloodline.
Yeah.
And then Zoro's probably strong because of his bloodline.
More than likely. Yeah.
And then they also have, like, training to go with it, but they were strong. Like, they were unnaturally strong since they were children.
Yeah.
Because, like, Zoro was beating the shit out of grown adults when he was a child.
Oh, yeah.
And so was Luffy. And so was Sanji. Like, it took a captain to fucking beat the shit out of Sanji when he was a kid. It took a giant, like, 10 feet, or what was he, 15 feet long? No, I think he was 16 from tail to snout for Luffy, the giant tiger in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot his name. But that's what it took, like, ridiculous odds for them as kids. And then it took an absolute swords masteress to stop Zoro.
Yeah. So I see what you mean.
So it takes like
high caliber people, like not just
like
your
normal
run of the
people
mill.
don't work. Yeah.
Because like I would say, Judge would be in Sanji's case. I think Judge would be Vice Admiral level. Is that okay to say?
Well, the thing is, Vice Admiral level is it? I feel like that's a misnomer.
Garp.
Yeah, because Garp's supposed to be the strongest.
Garp's supposed to be an admiral.
Yeah, but he just refuses it.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to be one
because
he gets
level,
less freedom if he is one.
Vice Admiral level would be like in between Garp and Smoker.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if Shanks or Garp is my favorite character in the show. I can't decide.
You want me to help you?
I think it's gonna be Shanks, but
for you?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Shanks. Like later, like once we get to 1400. Because let's be real, there's probably 300 more chapters.
Dude, Garp's had a showcase already.
I've seen some of his showcase.
You seen the Hachinoso Pirate Island showcase?
I don't know. But it's just, like, they're the characters I like seeing the most of, because we're going to get to talk about Garp more in a minute. I just like Garp. I also like Smoker a lot, too. Smoker's really cool. Luffy and the gang learns that the leader of Baroque's work, Mr. Zero's name is Crocodile, and he's one of the 7 warlords of the sea. And all Luffy can think of, if he's a 7 warlord of the sea, I want to fight him because I want to see how strong I am. Yep. Because I have to be stronger than him to be king of the pirates.
Literally seeing, like, doing the Luffy thing, or even, this would really be a Ubermensch thing. Just, you see this guy, he's the next level of people.
Yeah, he's
because at this moment right now, the highest they know is Warlord of the Sea. That's the highest they know right now.
They didn't even know that it existed.
Yeah, until like right then.
Didn't.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
They glazed over it with Mihawk. I don't know who told him, who found over that, or who told him that, and if Luffy was present.
I think Zeph says it.
So yeah, Luffy wasn't present to hear that, but yeah. So Sanji knows what a Warlord of the Sea is, but that's Luffy's first time hearing it, and it's crazy. Just like you say, him first time hearing it. Oh, how strong is he? It ain't even no if. I don't care what he got. How strong is he? I want to fight him.
But also, I don't like the name or the idea of the 7 warlords of the sea, because we learned
we don't either
that they're not even in the top 30 strongest pirates.
Nah,
they don't.
Besides Mihawk, but everybody else is a wash.
But also, it seems like a misnomer to call Mihawk a pirate.
Yeah,
because he's not very pirate
if we're being specific, he's marine hunter. Mihawk, he hunts marines.
But I guess that's the thing with Mihawk, his thing is he's against the Marines, so they're gonna call him a pirate.
Yeah, the only reason he joined the Marines was to keep his peace. He didn't care about nothing but his own peace. But
yeah, which is something that you don't want to do according to Nietsche, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, nah, you're right.
And then Luffy agrees to take Vivi. He ignores the money that Nami wants to ask for. He just says, "It sounds like it'd be fun." That's verbatim. He's just like, "Sounds like it'd be fun. Yeah, we're down. We'll do it."
Yep. And isn't this right when this is when we first see Miss All Sunday next, right?
Not quite yet.
Not quite. Yeah, I know I'm a little off, just a little bit.
No, it's first Igaram tries to take the decoy, and we see a bunch of arms out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then the decoy ship blows up.
Yep.
So Igaram's probably dead, but this is One Piece, so I don't know if you know what that means, but it means the only person that truly stays dead is Hawkboy. You'll get that joke in 3 episodes. That joke will make sense in 3 episodes of this podcast.
Even he don't stay dead either. He comes back too.
No, but I'm saying that's the meme. Is that he's the, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's a meme that he's the only person that stayed dead. The meme is it's like, I'm tired of people not staying dead in One Piece. And then the guy says, hey, what about me? And his pal. And he goes, shut up, pal. We don't talk about you.
Nah, I definitely feel it.
And then right after that, they head off. And then this girl that, let's be real, she looks weird. Nico looks weird. Yeah, Sanji doesn't think she looks weird.
Sanji doesn't think anything looks weird.
Well, no. He thinks certain things look weird. We learn later.
Hey.
When he meets Ivanka's people.
Yeah, but we know why. But
people.
I was mainly referring to the minks.
Yeah. Let's do so. If you're the first, if you're the Nami body type woman, Sanji's just gonna simp over you.
It don't even matter what.
Let's just get that out the way. Like you getting simped on. That's just how it works. If you look like the other two versions, Sanji don't want shit to do with you.
But
he actually hates you.
Sanji's so funny.
And then she shows up. She's like, my name's Miss All Sunday.
Who's she the partner of? Mr. Zero.
What's your plot? She's the second strongest member of the group. Which, I don't think she is. I think it's, what's his name?
You talking about, Mr. One? Or are you thinking of, because I ain't Mr. 3, and I ain't Mr. 2.
Yeah, I think Mr. 1 might be strong, but we don't know. Like, they don't quantify their power. We just know Crocodile's the strongest.
Yeah, that's by a long shot. We can see that. Because he's the only Logia type, which makes sense.
But also, it's like, Crocodile's not, like, in the grand scheme of things, he's not that strong. It's just Logias or bitches.
Yeah, he's only strong for somebody that don't got hockey. It's literally like after you get past, like, and they start introducing hockey, like, Crocodile almost becomes fodder.
But, like, even when it comes to, like, other Logia people, he's not that strong.
Yeah.
Like Magellan's a Logia type.
True. I don't think there is a weaker.
Like, way
okay,
stronger.
Well, what's his face? Caribou. He'll probably be stronger than Caribou.
Caribou?
Yeah. You remember that's Caribou? The dude that they get in Fishman Island?
Oh, yeah. The mud guy.
Yeah.
Well, no, he'd beat him in a 1v1, though, because we learned that that's his weakness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, yeah, Caribou would beat. Yeah, that's crazy. That's really crazy.
Like pre-hockey, like post-hockey, I can see Crocodile being like one of the strongest because like sand is bullshit when you get down to it.
Yeah.
Like what it encompasses, like how it is to fight. Just look at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like
look at Gar.
So like
shit, but no, you're right. I see it.
Yeah, like Sandman can be bullshit.
Crazy. That's even crazier when you think about it, because Crocodile being the first like real.
Ace probably could have beat him. Blackbeard would have beat him. And we don't even know for sure if Blackbeard's fruit is a Logia type.
No, Dark is Logia.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, it's a different Logia though. It's not like the ones that Ace and all them have where all of it will pass through you. He'll still take on that damage, but it'll go away. Like, it won't kill him, but he'll feel it. But like, he'll take all the damage.
I'm trying to think. Because the 3 admirals are...
Yeah, all Logias.
And they don't even... Like, what's it called?
They're not even awakened.
They don't even have to use hockey to hurt other Logias either.
Yeah.
Like, they could...
But they all do know hockey. The only person that ain't came out really yet that said they know hockey is Kizaru. But Kizaru just being so fucking strong, being light. Like... He probably one of the dudes that I can literally look at and say, boy, you don't even need hockey. Like, you already strong. You are light. Like,
but also, like, the speed of light, that's one thing I don't like. It's the speed of light is different in One Piece than it is in other things.
Of course.
It's not the actual constant like it is in real life.
Yeah, nah.
Like, light speed is completely different. Because it takes him amounts of time to move around the world as light. Have you noticed that?
Huh?
So, either everyone in One Piece... can move exponentially faster than the speed of light, which would mean that the Earth doesn't exist anymore, or light moves super slow in One Piece.
I mean, Kizaru's still like the fastest person in
No,
One
I'm saying
Piece.
like people can dodge his attacks.
Like, yeah.
So even if you use observation hockey to see the future, to see where he's gonna attack, right? Even if you used observation hockey to see that,
I mean, ain't too many people that was dodging him. Now I think about it, but it's the
but not like
speed
he
of it's
misses
like distorted.
Like he misses in Marineford a few times, and without observation hockey being used. But also he's trying to hit multiple people. But as soon as he shoots it, everyone should be dead instantly. But also, since it's moving at the speed of light, it should be hitting with the force. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but if you shoot there's a website that should show you it. If you shoot stuff at Earth at the speed of light.
Yeah, what it would do.
I've seen so those. Like Halley Comet would destroy the Earth.
Yep.
A grain of sand would level a city.
Yep.
Like crazy shit.
Yep.
So like every time Kizaru's clearly not moving at our version of light speed.
Our version.
Like in Dragon Ball, like they're specifically doing things at our speed of light.
Things also aren't like hitting at our like level of understanding with physics either. Because like you said, the fact that Kizaru has that light ability, his shit should be hitting hard as fuck. But
yeah, because acceleration matters just as much as mass.
It's all fiction at the end of the day.
Also, he's a light fruit, so I wonder if that means that he can just turn his body into pure photons.
He has done that.
No, that's what I'm saying is like it turns into light. I wonder if the explanation is going to be like when it gets awakened, if it's just like he turns into.
I mean, he's already described as a light man, so like his body and stuff takes on the property of light. They can do so much cool shit with it. Is what I was like. No, they definitely.
He can do so much cool shit with it, like and then he'll probably lose to Blackbeard if Blackbeard awakens and starts dark.
He's losing to Luffy right now.
Oh, but no, I'm saying no. The reason I say it would make so much sense if he lost, if the what's his name could just be like black hole.
No, that would work
because light can't escape a black hole.
That's how it works. That's how Blackbeard's power works. He can nullify devil fruit abilities. He himself can nullify devil fruit abilities. All it takes, Black Vortex. Because we see it in Lost Light.
I'm curious with what's it called? If it's gonna turn out that he's 3 people, or if he just ate the mythical Zoan type fruit like some of the
Who you talking
people, Blackbeard. Because
no, we don't know about that yet.
I hope it is that he's actually 3 people, because I just like that theory. Because at different points when he smiles, he has 3 different variations of teeth, and it's always the same 3 variations of teeth. Like he'll have.
I know every time Blackbeard gets introduced, he has a different array of teeth.
But it's consistent. Like he's got one with a full mouth. He's got one that's missing like 4, and then he's got one that's missing like some.
Oh, so the number of teeth missing are always the same, but
I don't know if they're always the same, but that's what the theory that I've seen on it.
It's a fact that he comes with a different like pattern in his teeth, like every time he gets introduced. So like he'll leave.
My understanding is that the different pattern is consistent.
But they definitely.
But it's hard to tell.
They definitely have confirmed that it's something special about Blackbeard.
I'd like to think there's a theory. There's a special yokai that has 3 stomachs, and the theory is that lokai or not lokai yokai. The theory that I've seen is that the Zoan type fruit for that yokai would be one of the strongest lokais, or not, but one of the strongest Zoan fruits, and so. The theory is that he wants the strongest of each fruit because the Trimmer fruit is the strongest Paramecium type fruit. The Dark fruit's one of the stronger Logia type fruits. And then
he need a Zoan.
Yeah.
A kind of Zoan.
But if it's a yokai, it would be a mythical Zoan, you know? And so those are the strongest types of Zoans. Are the mythical Zoans.
Yeah. But we'll get into we can't.
Yeah. We can't get into but you know what I mean. So the theory is
3 people though that.
No, but also there's this legendary pirate that he has like their mom's name is something that the chick in his crew's name is, and all this other stuff.
Zebek?
Yeah, it's like her last name or whatever. But there's like a bunch of stuff that correlates to him being 3 people, like being triplets.
Yeah.
But that like one of them has like a thing that makes them all trapped together. Because also he doesn't sleep, so the theory is that like the fact that he doesn't sleep is the other triplet taking control. That's the theory. Like there's like their minds go to sleep and they pop up, and that's why he has like looks like 3 different personalities. The theory, like I've seen a couple of different theories. Like one of the theories is that his devil fruit, like one of the twins ate a devil, or one of the triplets ate a devil fruit that made them all fuse together.
So he would already have 3 in the what you're saying. Like he already has 3 devil fruits. I like it.
Yeah, that's why he's so strong. Like the dark fruit can nullify shit. Mm-hmm. So he would just need offensive stuff since he has a perfect defense.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I do think he would need a direct, like, offensive fruit because, yeah, the trimmer fruit can be used for offense, but I think it's more like defense or like...
It feels like a utility fruit.
Yeah, utility. That's the word I was looking for. It does feel more like a utility fruit.
So we got a little carried away going into the future.
Hey, man, this is a good freaking conversation here.
Yeah. So back to the story because I still got 3 more pages of notes, I think. For this episode current group. When Nico shows up, she tries to give him a
eternal
pose to Alabasta, and Luffy's just like, no, we don't take shortcuts in this house, and crushes it.
Same thing with y'all remember when Luffy basically neglected to take Zeph's logbook. Yeah. Same thing.
Luffy doesn't like shortcuts.
He doesn't want shortcuts. If he gonna get there, on himself.
He wants to do everything in what he calls the correct way.
Like they trying to, in this instance, All Sunday is basically telling him to skip Little Garden and come straight to Alabasta because it's basically faster and you don't need to go there. Luffy's like, forget all that. Like, I'm going to Little Garden too. Like, this is my pirate trip. You're not gonna tell me where I need to go, where I don't need to go. And it was interesting because Nami got upset with him. You know, basically hit him in the head again to my son. We could have went straight to Alabasta. She was being so nice to us. You don't know what she went through to get that. And none of that matters at all. He's like, you don't get to decide where the ship goes.
Yeah.
You just figure out.
He, like, says, and, like, we don't see him use his stern voice often.
Right.
But he just, like, point blank, like, matter-of-factly looks at Nat. He's just like, you aren't the one who decides where the ship goes. Like, his exact words.
Exactly. And it's crazy because... put that into perspective. It's like Nami's the navigator. She 100% decides where the ship goes. Not really. She basically
decides how the ship gets there.
She basically helps the ship get to its destination that's already pre-picked by the captain.
Yeah.
Like, he could tell her he wants to go to hell. It's her job to figure out how to get to hell, not tell him not to go there.
Yeah.
Which I love. Like Corrupted said, we don't see Luffy's stern voice often. So us seeing it, it takes you by surprise. And once you finally get it and dissect, it's like, boy, Luffy really, he don't take shit from nobody, not even his own crew if they give it to him.
And then after that, we get a couple episodes of Helmeppo and Kobe messing around.
Yep.
And we see, like, how they're doing life as a chore boy. Bunch of stuff doesn't happen really in the first episode. It's just Axe-Hand Morgan escapes.
But one thing that was crazy, I do like how basically Kobe's turned into one of the disciples. That boy said he would preach the word of Luffy to everybody, and they gonna understand. But that boy slapped the mess out of Helmeppo. But that boy said, boy, you don't talk bad about Luffy. Boy, he saved my life. And that's
what's it called? He doesn't just slap, he, like, jumps him.
Yeah, yeah, that's even worse.
He straight up jumps him.
That's even worse.
And then a nice little thing is it cuts to the Straw Hats again, and then reading the newspaper. And Nami's trying to hide the newspaper. We find out why later. But Luffy sees something on the front, not the front page, but there's a thing of Axe-Hand Morgan escaping, and he notices, like, very small in the background that it's Kobe hiding. He's just like, hey, there's my buddy Kobe. That's cool. He made it as a Marine. He did. Yep.
It makes Luffy happy to see that he's actually following his dreams like he kind of left him to.
Yeah. And then Helmeppo and Kobe start having... they get hand selected by Garp. We don't know. We don't learn why yet. To get taken back to Marine headquarters so he's in the Grand Line, which is what Luffy finds out in the post, is that they joined Garp. And... Like, the show hasn't told us yet, but the reason Luffy's so fucking strong is because he is the grandson of the strongest Marine ever, and that is Garp. So that's, like, one of the reasons. And apparently Luffy is exactly like his granddad was when he was a kid.
Yep, hot-headed, not taking orders, pretty much forging his own way through life.
Also, I fucking love the, I haven't slept in 3 days. Why is that, sir? I tried to eat as many donuts as I could.
As it currently stands right now, if I had to give you somebody you would like, I think it'll be Garp, because there's more of Garp doing shit.
The thing that I like, it's the Marineford stuff is what made me like Garp. Like, his reaction to Marineford.
Exactly.
But we're going to get there in, like, 6 weeks, I think.
Whew. Yeah, somewhere around.
No. It's 8 weeks. That's 8 weeks away from now, I think, if my math's right. Because that's 400 episodes. 8 is 400. Yeah, that's about... No, that's in Down. Marineford's like 500, so it's
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Before the end of the year, for sure, though. We should be in Marineford. And then Helmeppo's just like, you know what? Screw it. I want to go back to my old life, so the best way to do that is become a strong Marine. And Kobe's just like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then he keeps thinking back to Luffy. And then he says, I was beginning to sound like my old self. Scared self once again. My old scared self once again. You're right. The question we have to answer isn't whether or not we can do it, but whether or not we have the will to do it.
There you
so
go.
I've come to a decision too. You're right, Helmeppo. If we really try, we can succeed. So come on, we can do this. And so they start just training at night, like they're having to do like multiple people's worth of work every day.
Yeah, and they treat it all like a training regiment. Like when it came down to not just them doing the kenjutsu kendo, yeah, the kendo practices and references and how they look at that like just training, but they're doing the rake in the dirt, the laundry, sweeping, mopping. They look at it all as like training regimen, really Rock Lee.
But also, it's not just that they because it implies that they've been there for a long time, because we see them go from like nothing to being muscular,
like ripped as hell. Yeah.
And so they're not just doing that, like using the cleaning and chores to do it, but they're staying up for like 4 hours every night, only getting like 4 hours of sleep.
Really putting their body through that.
Yeah, to work out after they do like 2 days worth of work every day.
Yeah, and that's crazy because even going back, that adds on to when Kobe told Helmeppo that, because one thing I really like that I heard that he got from Luffy is saying, if you're willing to chase your dreams, you got to be willing to die for them. And he told Helmeppo, like, are you willing to die to achieve your dreams? And it goes right back, like telling him that, he was going back to his old self, and the only way for him to be stronger, get where he wants to be a strong Marine, and having those realizations of that. And it's a big circle. Like when we sit there and get to dissecting this stuff, it really all just turns into like a big cycle. Like, and it's great. Like Kobe's already spurred on his way to becoming one of the great Marines, and Helmeppo right there. And it's like Luffy and his growth are like pretty much parallel to each other, but it's really good.
And then what's it called? Him and Helmeppo are talking, and Garp overhears that he says that he's friends.
Yep.
And Garp's just like, come with me. And they have a fight, quote unquote fight. Helmeppo and Kobe versus Garp. And there's like, Kobe's like, nah, leave Helmeppo out of this. And you see Helmeppo's like grown from their training. He's like, nah, we're friends. We're in this shit together.
Yeah. Nah, we in this together. And it was great because at that moment, it was like Kobe was losing his mind, that he just was, they gonna kick me out of the Marines because I'm friends with a pirate. And it's like Helmeppo, it's like those two peas in a pod thing. Like the thing that the Uberman, she knows that he has people follow him to complete him, not to make him do his dirty work. And I find that parallel to be great, because if Kobe's following Luffy, that means Kobe's trying to be the Ubermensch. And having Helmeppo as one of his first friends in this moment just make it to just, it really works, because Kobe's losing his mind thinking he's about to get kicked out. Helmeppo seeing what's going on, he looked at Kobe, it's like put his hand over his mouth. He's like, what's wrong? I said, bro, don't you realize that if he wanted to kick us out, we would have got kicked out already. That man don't care about that. That man care about this resolve. That boy care about what we trying to do. So what you trying to do? And he really like reassessed him and put him back in that mindset of, nah, I'm trying to be a Marine. And those parallels is like really great. Like seeing Kobe not only come into his growth, but also taking his mind and trying to follow the Ubermensch as closely as possible. Even in his like, even in his experiences, even in his like endeavors, he's still trying to be as close to Luffy as possible.
And then they're getting their asses beat,
like, but super beat.
But Garp starts talking crap on Luffy, and then Kobe's just like, how dare you, and punches him, and he's just like, okay, cool, you finally got a decent lick in. Y'all suck, but we can fix that. Starting tomorrow, you're gonna train special course with me, and y'all are gonna with their, because he was watching over them at night secretly. But Garp gets him to train with him, that way they can learn swordsmanship since he's a swordsman.
Which is like, it's crazy too, because knowing the swordsmanship in Kobe's way, because the way Kobe ends up coming out, of course he wants to be like Luffy, so he punches, but having that extra knowledge and stuff, like, it's unparalleled.
Well, man. You could theoretically, so it's not in One Piece. It's not the traditional stuff that makes you strong with a fighting type. It's the technique itself. So he could probably create his own techniques when it comes to punching eventually, if they wanted him to. Like, look at Fishman Karate. Like, you can basically use the force with Fishman Karate. Like 10,000 brick fist. Like, not the shitty version that what's his name uses, but the fishman that's in the Revolutionary Army's version.
Hack.
That's like an actual like bullet that like hack. Shoots airwaves and shit. Like Fishman Karate is just the fucking force.
It can be used.
And it's not hockey related either. No. So you could realistically do like if you just like practice the technique enough. Like, just imagine Netero. You don't know who, you haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, but like, it's just, if you train hard enough, everyone's Netero in One Piece. That's basically what it is.
I know one thing that's hella interesting that you just mentioned, which was, you mentioned like the Fishman Karate and adding hockey to it. The one thing that I want to see, like, I ain't trying to get off topic, but I want to see Robin get hockey. And ever since you just mentioned the Fishman Karate, because, you know, Robin in the 2-year time skip learns Fishman Karate. And I was like, boy, that would be just great. Like,
no, I just want to see her use fucking armament hockey on her fucking, like grow like 8 arms and they're all black.
Bro, that's why. Like, her 64 palms would be unfucking matched. Like, but that's the topic for another day.
Hers wouldn't be 64 palms. Her would be 64 palms squared. Because she could have extra pair of hands.
But you remember her best thing to do with the hands is slap. That was like her favorite things. That's why I said 64 palms.
But nah, bro. No, she just uses the fucking what is Hashirama's ultimate attack?
Oh, it's just the send you over 1,000. Bro, nah, yeah. that would be great. She just
does that with hockey.
Oda, I hope you listening, bro. I need that. That would make me complete. Like, as a One Piece fan, that makes it complete. Like,
and then we just skip to the Straw Hats landing on Little Garden.
Yep. Which is fucking crazy.
And obviously Luffy's infatuated with the dinosaurs.
Yep. Like, literally just come out in there seeing everything that's big and just like in awe. Like, oh my god. It's a big tiger.
When he's playing with the dinosaurs, he meets this giant named Dory, and they quickly become friends because they have similar outlooks and attitudes.
Yep. That's how it goes.
What's his name? Dory says like, I can't help. The only help I could have is we have an elk bath pose, and he's just like, nah, I don't want that. Yeah. I don't need that. I'm going somewhere else. Sort of thing. Like, even if it could help him, he doesn't want it because it's not what he needs.
Yeah, it's not what he's after. Yeah, it's not what he's looking for. He wants to be king of the pirates. He ain't trying to be nothing else. I also thought it was crazy. I don't know if we're at this part, but where they had the conversation when Dory's telling him about how his Elbaf customs are and how his god basically told him about honor and stuff, and Luffy just tells him that his god is stupid.
Yeah, the idea Luffy doesn't like religious system is because he sees that it's not needed anymore.
Like,
it's just an antiquated.
He literally called Dory's customs unfair. Like, your god is unfair, and it's like, bro, you telling this man who literally his life probably lapsed Luffy's 3 or 4 times, if that.
More than that.
It's more than that.
At least 100 and like something.
Yeah. And bro,
it's probably 200.
Him to be like a guy that's not gonna live as long as Dory and tell him, hey, your god's unfair. It's like, bro, you won't even Like, dude, you won't even live a quarter of my life to tell me what, like, I should believe. And I was like, I just reading that, it was so
how
funny.
Much Luffy, how much of his life he's lost later on.
Yeah, like,
so he probably won't live past like 50 something.
Yep. That's just like crazy.
And then what's called? You find out Dory and this other giant named Bragi have been dueling on the island forever.
For 100 years.
And they don't remember why. We learn why later. It's really funny.
Really damn
It's because they're just Sanji and Zoro.
Literally. And they did that so well. Like, you see at the same time when Dory and Bragi's like having their first fight that we see Zoro and Sanji literally having this stupid competition.
To see who can catch the biggest game.
Then, like, dude, their explanations were so stupid. It's like, oh, I caught this big one. But Sanji's like, yeah, there's more bone on that thing than anything. But look at me, I caught this one. It's like, bro, that's like, bro, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing with that. Like, and then it's just like, it's so childish. Like, well, I'm gonna go find another one that's gonna be bigger than yours. Like, well, if you gonna go find another one, I'm gonna go find another one. Like, so childish. And it's such a crazy opposite, because Dory and Bragi's feud is actually based on like honor. Like, they're not stopping fighting because of their customs as warriors. Like, if they believe in themselves as warriors, they'll never back down when the signal happens, which is the volcano erupting, which is just retarded. Like, this whole island is just a big old metaphor. Like, the dinosaurs themselves literally just continuing to live, even though a whole freaking volcano is erupting every day and they could die at any point, but they continuously to live. And you got Dory and Bragi who literally fight because of this symbol, this signal, to just fight when the volcano erupts, and then they go at it. And it's like,
yeah. But then they so Bragi gets cleaning alcohol from Nami. He gives some of them to Dory because they're still friends even though they're rivals.
Yep. And
so when Dory's drinking his alcohol, the last bit of it blows up inside of his stomach. And spooky, who could have done that? We totally didn't see somebody that could control bombs earlier in the show, did we? That doesn't like Luffy. But Vivi thinks Bragi tampered it since he's the one that gave it. He's just like, hold it. Were you even watching them? They fight their duels honorably. There's no way he'd do that. Like, he's just stuck on how honorable they are. Yep. And that's why Luffy likes the Giants so much, is because they're so honorable. And then at first, Dory thinks Luffy did it. So he traps him up under a rock.
Yep.
Because first they start to fight, and then, like, nothing that Dory does really affects Luffy because he's rubber. And so he's just like bouncing off all the stuff. And then
Luffy, one thing to note is like how much he respects these giants at this point. It's literally hurting Luffy to land blows against this man. Like, he even apologizes to him, like, to under his breath when he's about to hit him with the rocket. Just, I'm sorry, Dory. And just has to do it because he understands, like, this is really just, like, I was hurt. I ain't gonna lie, I was hurt.
And then, and Luffy's not worried about himself in the scraps. He's just worried about making sure Vivi and Dory aren't hurt. Like, making sure Dory doesn't accidentally hit Vivi or Dory hurt himself even more.
And making sure that he doesn't overdo it on Dory.
Yeah, and obviously Luffy's pissed because he hates things being dishonorable.
Yep.
And then we meet Mr. 3, who's the wax man. And he uses wax, but he's all about being sneaky and deceitful.
And he coats it as intelligence.
Yeah, but if we look at how Luffy does stuff, he does everything out in the open. He uses his...
Oh, okay. I thought it already came up.
Okay, there it goes. Sorry, we had a internet issue for a couple of seconds. It's not just that, it's that, what's it called? When you use underhanded tactics, you're admitting that you wish you were stronger.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with it. It's you're using the underhanded tactics not because you know you can win, but because you need to put your opponent at a detriment so that you can win because you're too weak.
That's the essence of using just only your intelligence. If you say that your intelligence is the only thing that's going to get you through, you're basically implying that whatever you got to do to get ahead, that is intellectually allowed at that time, because just intellects is only about being ahead. when you talk about strength, that's about going through. And this is just my like opinion of it, like my view of it. Like you see someone tells you that they're intellectually better than you, that means no matter what they have to do to be intellectually better than you or advantageous over you, they'll do it. When someone says they're stronger than you, that typically means that, hey, I'll meet you on the field of battle at any point in time. And just either one of those will literally just put you down. Like anyone just intelligent, 100%. Like you will use underhanded methods in order to get across. Like if ands buts about it, and that's literally Mr. 3.
Well, also like Nietsche like describes it as a way like it's super hypocritical.
Yeah.
Because when you use the underhanded tactics, you admit that you're not like what you claim is enough is enough. You admit fundamentally.
Yep.
When you stop doing it, when you try to do the tactics, you admit fundamentally that it's enough. So then you kind of
you'll underhand yourself.
Well, it's not just you underhand yourself. It's that you're trying to use your intelligence to get power over the strong person. So you admit that you don't have any power when you do it. And that's like, why it's bad.
Yeah, at the moment you decide to use your methods to underhand the strong person, you admit that you aren't strong enough to take on the strong person conventionally.
Yeah, and it's not like, he's not saying like strength or power in the conventional sense. He's just saying like, it's not like the power to control people, because he also thinks that if you control people that you're weak, because it's just your weak ego forcing you to control people. It's more so like your ability to live life is how he like says, like how he describes power. Like your ability to live life how you want to is like how Nietsche describes power. So if we're talking about power in the Nietzschean sense, that's kind of what we're saying. And that's how just Nietsche explains it. So it shows another thing, like how we say like every fight that Luffy gets into with someone, it's him showing that his way of thinking is superior. Much better.
Well, yeah, better. I wouldn't say superior, but better.
Well, I mean, pretty much the same thing in that context.
Yeah, yeah.
But his way of conceptualizing the world is better than theirs, and that's what like all of his fights are about, or proving that the way that Luffy sees the world is better than his opponent sees the world. And so I just thought it was worth pointing that out with how Mr. 3 views the world as a very
last manish way of thinking.
Not just last manish, but very cowardly. Because he doesn't like being out in the open until like he's done. Sort of.
Yeah, legit the definition of cowardly. Like avoids all like frontal risk. He literally, if he could get it the underhand way without having to lift his finger, he would. And just literally like avoiding the fight. Like that's why he did. That's why he put Zoro and him in that candle wax thing, is to keep Zoro from moving and about. Then you got, you put the crap on Luffy's legs, try to incapacitate him because he figured that it wouldn't work. Luffy couldn't fight through that.
We're not quite there yet. We'll get there in a second, because there's a really important thing I wanted to highlight.
Go ahead.
It's the when the volcano triggers again, explodes, and for their fight to start, Luffy's just like, "You can't go, dude. You're too fucked up. You're gonna die." And then he says, Luffy tells him, "Listen to me. God and protections and judgment have nothing to do with what's going on. If God told you to just run off and die, would you? Someone has interfered with your duel, and a duel that has been interfered with isn't a fair fight anymore. Isn't that right?" Like he's trying to talk sense into Dory, that thanks to his new injuries.
That just went out for you.
What?
I couldn't hear you anymore over here.
Oh, my bad. It's basically him telling Dory that an interfered with fight is no longer fair, so it doesn't actually mean what you say it means anymore. If Bragi ends up winning because of that, then he doesn't actually win. He just is the one that survived it. Basically what
and that was going back. I like it because it's going back to when Luffy originally told him that his God was unfair. It's not as like he's adding that logic to it to like back up what he originally said. Because it's like if your God told you to go die, fall off cliff, whatever, would you go do it? And it's not even about, because it's true. Like once they interfered with the fight, it wasn't fair anymore. But like that was the Elbathian like idea of honor. So just to go for all their honor will know was to just go for it without any excuses. And Luffy's trying to show him that you can't just go for it because somebody has tampered with you. That's unfair. So the honor that y'all are fighting for no longer exists.
Yeah, it's been stripped away. And then Luffy doesn't get this mad often, but he threatens to kill whoever.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Like, he just straight up's just like, I will kill, what's his, he says, who was it? How dare they interfere? I'll kill him. Like, with, like, he never has venom in his words. Like, the only other time I can think of that he has venom in his words is right before he punches the celestial dragon in the face.
I don't even think he had that many words for that, but that was a great moment. We're definitely going to get to that.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because even now, like what the most we've heard throughout this thing is, I'm going to kick your ass. He'll tell someone he'll beat their ass. I'm going to beat you up. But hearing him say, yo, they interfered, I'll kill them.
Yeah,
and it's like, and bro, like, this is literally like one of the things of the Ubermensch. And it literally goes back to even Zoro, like him going at Zoro about the food. This is like magnified, like times 10. Like, Ubermensch does not like dishonor and will punish any dishonor. Like, them going in, like, really watching Dory and Broggy's fight, him and Luffy and Usopp just being in awe, these proud warriors, these brave warriors, you know, even so much as, like, what do you call it, not sympathizing, but like what is it, like really feeling their passion, feeling their honor, like really putting themselves in it, because Usopp wants to be a brave warrior. To see this is almost like, oh my God, like Usopp's dream getting fulfilled right here and now, because he's getting his game.
Says like he declares Broggy as his new master.
Yeah,
and everything.
Dory and Broggy
promises to go to Elbath.
Yep, and you know, just hearing this, like, because literally Luffy literally says, "I will kill them." Like, that's real passion, right? We haven't seen Luffy up in this story be that passionate about beating somebody's ass to the point he'll kill them until this point. And it's not even just Luffy. Usopp shares into the disgust as well. Like, they really, like, they're gonna off them. Like, just for being this dishonorable towards such honorable warriors. Like, they are gonna really off them.
Yeah, they are wholly prepared to do that. And then Luffy gets even more pissed when Broggy wins the duel, because Dory loses due to the interference. And then Mr. Five and Miss Valentine show up and see Luffy up under a rock, and Mr. Five starts talking shit, and Luffy's just like, and he spits on his shoe. And so Mr. Five gets
exactly
pissed.
What you're saying.
And then kicks him in the face, like exploding kicks him in the face several times. And it looks like he's out, but Luffy's just like trying to figure out how to get out from under the giant fucking rock.
Yeah, and even with him being up under that rock, he's still exhibiting the same hatred. Like, I don't care nothing about none of this. I'm still gonna kill you.
That's the thing that's like kind of annoying until we get to Crocodile. Like, everyone Luffy's ran into, everyone that he's ran into, he can just
literally Thanos snap him away if he wants to. Little thump.
Well, it's like Crocodile and then Magellan. Those are like the only two that like he can't. It's just there's some arbitrary thing that he has to get through that doesn't add any character.
Yeah.
Because it's not just things for other people to shine.
Because what
they try to do, like try to make other people shine.
The only thing that's, because we can even go back to like before, like the only thing that made his fight with Don Krieg difficult was the fact that the dude just kept running. Water. Yeah, he's over water, and Krieg was literally trying not to let him get close. And every time he got close, it was literally like one thing. But as soon as he got him, it was it. Like, there's nothing else he could do. Like, Krieg's done. And then it was
Morgan,
insta-clap. Like, no, even like, bro.
Alvida, insta-clap.
Yep, Alvida, insta-clap. Morgan, insta-clap. Buggy,
and
just
his crew, insta-clap.
It was an insta-clap. It just took him a little minute. But Kuro, insta-clap. Like, Kuro wasn't even a factor, like, with all that pussyfooting.
And then, what's it called? Everyone until we get to Crocodile.
Arlong was he was a clap.
No, but like, if he didn't stick his feet in the thing, it would have been an insta-clap. Because we see,
that's the thing he had to get
through. See, like, he one-shots him. Like, we see that Luffy could have one-shotted him at any point.
Yeah.
Because he knocked him out with the Gum Gum Axe.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just, there's just weird things thanks to Luffy's stupidity, that puts him in situations where somebody has to bail him out, sort of thing.
And because
Karu has to dig him out.
Yeah, Karu digging him out.
Who's I don't think we mentioned it. He's Vivi's duck mount ostrich thing.
Yeah, Vivi's pet, pretty much. Well, her partner. I got to give him a little bit higher than pet. Her partner. And through all of this.
And before Karu digs him out, Luffy says, "These guys messed up the best duel ever. They're in serious trouble and they're going to answer to me."
Yep.
So Luffy shows up, beats the dog mess out of all of them, gets the color treatment from Miss Golden Week, which just like messes with his emotions. She keeps fucking around with his emotions.
Yeah, she just paints, and whatever color the paint is kind of dictates the emotion.
But also, there's a good point when he's got the tranquil green on him. Like it's supposed to be the strongest color. And he's like being tranquil and everything, but it shows like he's actually struggling against it, like his face. They show his face and he's like, like the whole time when he's forced to be tranquil, like he's trying to break out, and I think that just shows his force of will.
Yeah. Because the whole time he was like, such nice tea. Then Usopp comes, you really just going to sit there with tea and do all this shit? Nice tea, such nice tea. And that was a good detail. That was a good detail.
Mr. 3 shows back up in his like battle suit wax thing.
Yeah, that little clay, that little Elemental Hero Clayman looking thing, but it's wax.
Yeah, and he gets immediately clapped. Like he's trying to fight, and then they get set on fire, and then they win.
Yeah.
So and then Mr. 3 runs away. And then he's like, I make a bunch of wax clones of myself, shadow clone, no jutsu.
And you'll never know which one's the real one.
And Luffy just immediately,
like,
off pure instinct, just knows who it is.
Pop.
He's like, yeah, I can smell bitch.
Hey, I smell pussy in your breath, buddy.
Yeah. He literally just walks into the woods and says, it smells like bitch in here.
I'm talking about like, it wasn't even like no hesitation. It's like, oh, I'm going to figure out literally just figured it out. Like, what was the reason again? It was like,
no, he says it's just pure instinct.
Yeah, just pure instinct. But
like, I just knew you were a bitch and I could see you.
But also like where he was, like Mr. 3, I think that was a play on Mr. 3 because he always talks about how intelligent he is and that, bro, you literally didn't put yourself in a bush. You didn't put yourself behind a tree.
But I feel like that's
literally like right in the middle.
That's the smartest place to put yourself, though, if you do it, because everyone's going to think you're going to be hiding.
But in that instance when he was just mouthing off like that, like, well, I would have like put...
If you're like doing like that and you're just like where to hide sort of thing, it's always out in the open. Like if you have like a bunch of shadow clones, you want to be like the easiest to spot shadow clone because it's too obvious.
Well, when you use that, I can see it.
You know what I mean? But also like,
but with the amount of chirping he doing though, that's the thing about it, because he chirping a lot. Like he really.
But we also don't know if he's like just saying that in his head because we don't see his mouth move for all of it.
That's true.
So he could just be like gassing himself up, but Luffy's just like, it smells like bitch in here, knocks him out. Yeah.
That was good.
And then they all get on the ship. Because Sanji went on a side quest and unlocked an eternal pose to Alabasta.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe it. You got a better way?
No, that's pretty much it. Sanji don't go on a lot of side quests in One Piece, but...
Yeah, it's normally Zoro motif. Zoro trying to get max level. Going on a side quest. But they leave. Nami gets sick.
Yep.
And you can see it's like Luffy's like super distraught, like he's sitting around her tapping his heels, which he's normally not doing.
Showing nervous,
and he's looking sad. He's trying to cheer her up so she'll smile. Wapol shows up. He gets one shot. Which is another like they try to like be like Wapol's all big and bad, but he doesn't fucking matter.
Bruh, I actually want to hear like, bruh, Chat, if y'all know, I want to hear what y'all say the worst villain in One Piece is, because there's a candidate. I swear, that's a election I would like to see, because bro, there's some bad ones.
I think it would be the managers, Brooks managers.
Oh man,
because they're just slave masters.
Yeah, Brooks managers are pretty bad.
And they try to kill him. Remember?
Yeah,
because
he
doesn't. He's ending the tour. Like I think that's first place.
Yeah, no. Brooks manager's gonna be.
It's either that or Perona.
Nah, Perona's okay. Because
I just don't like her voice actress.
No, that's yeah.
She's fucking annoying. Well, they probably told her to sound annoying, so I'm not gonna blame her.
I mean, originally I would have said Wample or what's the dude with the freaking the in that filler with the like the animals and stuff, with the animal necks and stuff where they meet the dugongs, the kung fu dugongs. Nah, I hate that dude with a passion because that dude's
I don't watch filler, so.
Nah, Kung Fu Dugong doesn't make it filler. It's like, because, you know, Kung Fu Dugong, we meet him right before we get to Alabasta. Because he puts an X on his chest. It is fun. Like, that guy's fun.
And then, what do we got?
Wample shows up.
Wample, he gets one shot.
Clapped.
Luffy freaking out about her sickness. They show up at a new island. Turns out it's called Drum Island. And they hate pirates because some shit went down. Some exposition happened. And they're like trying to get them to see a doctor for Nami.
Yep.
And the villagers get scared and shoot. They end up hitting Vivi. And Luffy almost loses it and attacks the villagers, but Vivi's able to talk him back down. He's just like, you just gotta ask nicely for a doctor. Just bow, ask nicely. He's just like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I was too aggressive.
And that's
Can we
crazy.
please see a doctor?
That's right there. Just shows you just his own like resolve for his crew. Like, yeah, they just went crazy on you and just shot at you. But looking at that junk, like the situation Luffy had on his shoulders, like to protect his crew. Like, because Luffy's very prideful. I don't, like, up until that point, I wouldn't have seen Luffy, like, just bow down like that. But it made so much sense.
Yeah, it's to save Nami's life.
Because, at the end of the day, it's to save Nami. Like, you don't want to put Nami in danger, put Vivi in danger, put the crew in danger, even though they probably could handle it. But it's about doing it the right way, doing it the most safest way to get everybody out of harm's way.
Yeah, because he's not there to fight them. He's
not
just
a grave digger and not a, what was it? He's not a follower of the crowd. He's not a grave digger.
And then after that, we got, like, they meet Dalton, Mr. Bullman dude. Because he ate the, what is it, the Toro?
Yeah. Toro Zoan food.
Yeah. And then the, Luffy and Sanji immediately set off to find, how do you say your name again?
You talking about Kureha?
Kureha, that's how you say it. Kureha, who lives in the Wapple's abandoned castle. We learned a little bit about Blackbeard showing up and effing stuff up.
Yeah, that was the reason that the villagers were so defensive, because they thought
they're
Blackbeard.
Scared of pirates.
They're scared because Blackbeard literally just came there
and basically crumbled their nation.
Yep.
And then
that's why Wample wasn't there, because he left, but then came back.
Yeah. And then they just head off. And the thing about the mountains is they're not normal mountains. They're just basically like cylinders.
Yeah.
That are like skyscraper height. So Luffy and Sanji set off to take Nami up there to get treated. And then there's just a little part that I really liked where he's just like, Sanji's just like, dude, why are you wearing sandals? He's just like, it's my policeman, or whatever he says. He's like, you mean policy? And he's just like, yeah, my policy.
Yeah, nah, Luffy's
because a
great.
man's toe should be free.
Hey, nah, he go back to that freedom aspect, man. That freedom.
Well, he doesn't say the free part, but that's just what I assumed that it's meant.
I assumed it too. So, hey, it works.
Yeah, and then they get attacked by these things called lopins, which are basically polar bear
mixed with like
jackrabbit hybrids.
Yeah, like if jackrabbits were just on steroids people, all the time.
But they also are super intelligent.
Like dumb intelligent.
They understand how to use tools and shit.
Shit, they understand speech towards the end of the arc, don't they?
Maybe.
I can't remember.
They understand concepts like owing people.
Yeah.
And then so Luffy and Sanji can't fight him because if Luffy attacks, it'll hurt Nami because he's carrying her on his back.
Yep.
So they have to just run away from the Lopins. The Lopins get mad, so they cause an avalanche to try to catch them because they're carnivorous and they want to eat. They like eating people. Long pig is their favorite food.
Yeah.
And then while they're running away from them, right before the avalanche happens, Wapol shows back up. The avalanche happens. Wapol's just like, it was the Straw Hat, that bastard. That's not what he sounds like, but he's like, he just sounds like a bitch in my head. So that's more like my old man
that's
bitch
so
voice.
Funny. Straw Hat, that bastard.
Yeah, man. Like he might not have used the word bastard, but it meant he said a synonym. And then Luffy easily shrugs off an avalanche because main character power. Not really. He just over him, and so he goes dig Sanji out so Sanji doesn't die, and continues to carry the two unconscious bodies with him.
Jesus.
What? Did you say Jesus?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just I thought you said Cheez-Its for a split second.
Cheez-Its.
I was like, what the fuck are you on about?
I'm hungry.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I was just like, what the fuck? My bad about that.
Just edit it out. Just edit it out.
Nah, dude, this is live. We can't edit it in post.
Shh. It was you ain't supposed to tell him. Shh. Nah, I get it.
And then he digs Sanji out and he sees one of the Lopins, like the kid Lopin, digging to the point where we can't tell if it's blood or its hands are just raw from the snow, digging in the snow, because it's super light pink, not the normal color that they use for blood, because the show doesn't have a problem with showing blood. No,
definitely not in the early episodes.
So Luffy digs out the parent one because he just doesn't like to see stuff suffer. That's just how he is. He just doesn't let people suffer. Wapol and the two idiots with him try to attack him. Luffy just ignores him. So the Lopins jump Wapol and co. So Luffy can escape. Then Luffy has to climb essentially a rock version of the Chrysler Building.
Yeah.
But he's carrying his two friends up, and he's climbing by his fingertips. So he's pushing his fingers into the rocks to climb. There's this one point where he slips and he starts falling, and he has to catch himself, and it tears into his fingers and toes, and he's freezing to death because he gave Nami his jacket. Well, actually, no, I think he gets his jacket back by then, but he's still in freaking shorts. In in the middle of basically a blizzard, climbing up a mountain, so he kind of cold, and he's also rubber. Rubber doesn't mix with cold
at all.
So, it's probably not the best thing for him.
But literally by
his health,
literally by his fingertips and toe tips, he's literally climbing that mountain.
And he makes it to the top, and he passes out as soon as he thinks he's made it. He's just like, I got him there. But he ends up falling off, and interesting creature, wink wink, nudge nudge, saves him. I wonder if we're going to run into that creature later. It looks like a werewolf caribou. If a caribou, like a were-caribou. A wereaboo. What's it called? Gets saved, and while there's a flash, so it turns out that the witch lady doctor Kureha found him, and it shows a little flashback after he saved them, that Luffy wakes up when they're trying to take him. He's just like, they're my friends. Like, not letting them touch him until he knows that they're not trying to. Because he's, like, frozen. He's got, like, his knot is frozen. Mode. Yeah, he's just like, they're my friends. Don't let them die, sort of thing. And they're just like, he won't let them go until he knows that they're not trying to hurt him. Like, he's just like, I'll fight you if I have to.
Literally as he's in the bed hurting himself.
And then it doesn't even take a day for Luffy and Sanji to fully recover from their injuries from the trek.
Yep. The trek up the mountain, the cylindernoid
And they
mountain.
meet Chopper, who's a reindeer that ate the human fruit.
Oh, that might be that special creature.
Who would have thunk it? But they start talking, or like Luffy's obsessed with him because he thinks he's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I want you to be my friend. You should join our crew. And then starts chasing Chopper around the castle to get him to join the crew. Because he thinks he would be awesome.
And the whole time, Chopper's just thinking that he's about to be somebody's next meal.
Yeah, because at first, that's what, he's just like, venison, chasing him. And then he finds out that he's like a doctor and he's not a normal reindeer. Well, it's not even the talk yet. He just finds out that he's like helping take care of Nami, and so all of a sudden he's just like, no more venison. No, you're cool. Awesome.
You're awesome, bro.
And then there's the part where they learn and can talk. They're just like, we're gonna shut this door so it's not cold. And then he turns into the creature that saved him and stops him. So you see the reason that they keep the door open is because there's a baby snowbird nest in the door, and they die if they closed it. And he's just like, oh my God, did you see that thing? He walked on 2 legs. He looks like a reindeer. You know what that means? He's a monster. And Chopper overhears that part, but he doesn't hear the part where Luffy's just like, yeah, he's a monster, but he's so awesome. Like, he doesn't hear that part.
Yeah, because he has that aversion to hear he's a monster that he just kind of shuts down. He just walks
away being sad. But it turns out Luffy doesn't care if you're a monster as long as you're cool.
And that's a great metaphor too, because like, I love Chopper. You know, he just wanted to fit in pretty much amongst everybody. That's his like MO, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, he's like the opposite of Arlong.
Yeah, he just wants to fit in amongst people. As Arlong sees this, you know, he don't care if you fit in. He's fishman over everybody.
Well, this was like he was so Arlong externalized the racism he felt towards attacking people.
Yeah,
and then Chopper externalized the racism he felt to attacking himself.
Yeah.
So like Chopper got it like, because I went through all the shit going through, because he's basically like, for a reindeer, he got like, there was racist reindeers because he has a blue nose. If you think about it, like all the other reindeer were racist.
I believe it.
Because he has a blue nose.
I 100% believe it.
Interesting little bit of thing. I wonder if it's supposed to be like how like people with the same races but different ethnicities are treated.
Yeah.
How like old school Japan, like if you weren't Japanese, like you can go get wrecked. Like even if you were Asian, if you were like Korean or Filipino, it's just like, yeah, go get wrecked, son, sort of thing. And that's where he got the idea.
That's a good one. That's a real good one. But
then that's pretty much where our episodes end, because we don't get any more stuff from Luffy, because it's just an episode or two of why Chopper acts the way he does. So I think that's going to be it for today, boys.
So it's that like next time be like what, 88? Something like that? Or we just going from 86?
86 through. Right. Because like even in flashback episodes we can get pieces that'll show what they need.
Of course.
Or like episodes that aren't about Luffy, but if it's people
like Kobe and Helmeppo.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah. Like they got, like if they learned the lessons from Luffy and are using.
But like the Straw Hat flashbacks that we had previously, like the Nami and the Sanji ones that we didn't cover, because nothing's about Luffy in there. It's just they just their own like trials and tribulations. So yeah, that's it for this one, y'all.
Yeah. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you have any questions or you want to challenge some of our points because you think you got a better one. Let's hear it.
Love to hear it. One of the topics only get better with more dialogue.
Yeah, man. But y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all next week.
Be easy.
Roughly same time. Corrupted.
And Dragon.